Hey guys, Segef, and I wanted to show you some tips, basically, of Path of Exiles that I've discovered. So basically, almost every Wednesday, Divination and I have been playing Path of Exiles together, and we have found some really cool stuff that we think will help out a lot of people. Let me show you some of them. Alright, so one of the things, support gems. They're awesome. Like, melee splash. So I have this connected with my heavy strike. So it allows heavy strike to have melee splash, hits multiple targets, which if you combine it with the health gem, which every hit steals health basically, or grants health to your target. So every target that is hit by my splash gives me 18 health. So if you have an AoE attack, combine it with this life gain gem. And I don't almost, as long as my mana holds out, I never use health potions. It's amazing. I just start punching stuff in the face and I get my health. But here's where I kind of experimented, was I looped it to shield charge. So now my shield charge has a splash effect and it heals, just like my heavy hit. So if you daisy chain stuff like that, you can actually give multiple skills the same support gem bonuses. Or I could actually just take this out and add an additional support gem to it. Let's see, can I do that? Can I put another health gem in there? Does it double up? Oh, no, it doesn't. I don't think it does. But you get my point. It's like totally helps out. Another really cool thing we found out: hang on to your flasks. I sold my flask for the longest time until Div pulled me aside and be like, "Yo, stop selling, or pick up every flask you can. If you can find 3 of the same type of flask, like same quality. So this one says Greater Life Flask. This one is Grand Life Flask. This is a Giant Flask. Superior or just Greater Mana Flask. So if I can find 3 Greater Mana Flasks and you go and take them to the person to sell, instead of getting stuff as a barter, you get almost like you trade in for an upgrade. It's almost like less of a barter system. Now that I'm getting more and more into this game, the barter system is less of a barter system and more of very reminiscent of the Herodric Cube back in Diablo 2. So if you have the right ingredients and you combine it, you get something else. One of the other things that, let's see, do I have one of them? I thought I did. There's some rings that will add 2 resistances. Maybe I don't have it. Anyways, we were experimenting that apparently if you have so much resistance, you can combine them and then get a different resistance. Like if you have the prismatic ones, or not the prismatic ones, but the dual gem rings where it adds, like, say, fire and cold resistance. You get enough of those and combine them to sell, and it'll give you a prismatic one that will give you kind of a, it doesn't, like this one right here, it's stout prismatic ring. Instead of giving you, like, say 23% or 15% to resist fire and 50% resist cold, you keep combining enough of those and you get basically a lower resistance, but it goes across the board for all resistances, which is kind of nice. So hopefully you can continue to keep stacking those. Okay, alchemy shard. How you get an alchemy shard, I believe, if I'm remembering correct, is anything that says will increase a specific type of skill. So like a wand that says will increase, if you put a fire skill gem in this item, it'll count as +1 level. Sometimes there's like boots that say if you have a projectile skill in this slot, it will act as 1 level higher. Something like that will give you an alchemy shard when you go to sell it. What else? Oh, so we found out the trick to getting armor scrap and blacksmith scraps, or blacksmith whetstones, because they're very difficult. because if you have a normal item, you can increase the quality of an item up to 20%, 5% at a time, and then enchant it with one of these little guys or one of these guys, and you will get bonus stats because it will the quality that you've increased on its own will greatly increase the number value on the items. And then you randomize the properties that you specifically want. And so what I started doing is, see on this tab, this superior decorative axe has 12%. This is 15, 13, 5. Don't have enough. Let's see if we can generate this for teaching purposes real quick. Let's see if there's any superior armor. And so one of the things is I've been doing sometimes is those orbs to buy that with are fairly cheap or easy to get. So I will buy armor sometimes or weapons that have the superior rating. And then here's where the trick comes. So, nope. Alright, so we have 7. So that makes 20. There we go. Nope. I can get my stuff to line up proper. Getting a little bit of lag right now. So here we go. This will equal 40%. So here's the cool thing is if you can get the quality of weapons or armor to equal 40%. So as you can see, it's giving like low quality, it's like blah blah blah, I'm gonna give you stupid scroll of wisdoms, but watch when I put this one and it equals 40. Boom. 40% is the magic number that you want for armor scraps. For armor. And for weapons, you equal quality of 40%, you will get a blacksmith's whetstone. This allows you to improve and kind of make your own gear, so to speak. And this is where I was talking about that it's kind of like the Herodric's Cube from Diablo 2. And so this is how I've been starting to stockpile and make my own armor. Ta-da! Save those up. And so this armor was a white that I found. And then I used armor scraps to get it up to 20%. And then I enchanted it myself, basically initially using an orb of transmutation and then using an orb of alteration until I got the defensive stats that I wanted. Which I think it took about 7 to get that calculation right there. Same with the shield. I did the exact same with the shield. And what else? I think that's it that I've done with, I've augmented. Oh, and the boots. I think I did it with the boots as well. So, if you find a white item or a blue item, any quality of item that already is 20% quality, you instantly get one of the augmented... No, excuse the on. You get instantly one of the augmented shards. So that's kind of a neat trick, that if you automatically find it. And so now I'm like, Div and I, now that we found out this magical formula, we've been hauling more things than just magical items. As well as, where is it? Chromatic orb. You get a chromatic orb if you have a 3-socket, similar to this, but it'll be blue, green, red, or any combination, and all 3 of them have to be linked. You sell that item, and you will get a chromatic orb. Granted, that's not... I haven't really found too many I haven't really played around with the chromatic orbs or any of these really too much because it's all random. You can't plan this. Reforges the links between sockets. I tried doing that with this shield actually to link all 3 of them together. Was it the shield or was something else? I can't remember what it was, but it just broke the links around instead of doing what I wanted to do. I think it was with this armor. Yeah, it was with this armor because I wanted to link this one, all 3 of the reds together, and it linked this one. I used it again, and then it took the link away. And so it's very, very, let's see, there's another one that I've made. That's another decent one. And so it makes it very hard to plan your items, and you can kind of ruin it. Div, the other day, was trying to augment something, and he screwed up the connections, and he ended up having to use a ton of those things just to get the connections back to where they were, and he just, said, like, I'm done, because he didn't want to foobar it anymore. As well as I'm going to be experimenting with a lot of these rings that I've just been hoarding these rings to see if I can make some kind of combination with those. So it really gives a neat dynamic to the game, that it's kind of like a mini game of finding how to buy and sell things. I hope that helps you guys out a lot. I'm not really going to be I'm not going to be showing you any footage with Gortar here, just for the sheer fact that Divination and I play him together, and I don't want him to gain any XP without, my partner present. I just wanted to do this kind of a PSA with some of the new research I found. I'm pretty sure it's out there on the wiki page or something, but I don't know. I just felt like sharing it because I was blown away by it. I found it fun, and I find it fun to find the recipes instead of doing all the research. Hope this wasn't too much of a spoiler for you guys. Hope you enjoy it. Check out Path of Exiles, especially if you like Diablo-esque dungeon crawler adventure games. I believe they're going to have a new patch content coming out, I want to say the 23rd, 24th, where they're going to start a new bracket and story arc, and possibly another even act. So, alright guys, have fun, and stay safe on the island.